It's the most wonderful time of the year, college football bowl season, baby. And there are 42 bowl and playoff games to keep us entertained for almost 3.5 weeks. Starting with Toledo versus Middle Tennessee State and going through the national championship on Monday, January 10th, pick your favorite Wager Talk or Sports Memo handicapper and get every college football bowl game they release, including any 5% best bets normally priced at $35 for the low price of $149. As an added bonus, make sure to download the free Wager Talk College Football Bowl Guide by going to wt.buzz/rm. From everyone at Wager Talk and Sports Memo, good luck this college football bowl season.
Hey guys, welcome in, and let's see. Today's Thursday, and it is December the 9th here. Welcome in for a little college basketball tip-off show powered by WagerTalk.com. A limited card here tonight, but certainly some intriguing matchups we're going to break down for you, and we're going to do it here with, one of the most experienced college basketball guys and handicappers that you will see at WagerTalk.com, including Ralph Michaels, Steve Merrill, and Dave Koken in the house. And Ralph's got the pen, and if he's pointing it, that means he's got something good for you here. So, Ralph, welcome back, my friend. Been a while, it feels like, since we last saw you. I know you got something locked and loaded here for us tonight. What do you got going on at Wager Talk?
I do have a top totals play, but Joe, come on. I take Tuesday off because I wanted to get the bowl guide done. You act like it's brand new. I do the pen at the beginning of the show. I do the pen at the end of the show. Anytime in the middle, I'm waving it. That means I want your attention. So the hello pen and the goodbye pen, I don't need your attention. But I do have one college basketball totals. It's a strong 4-star. Totals have been great in college hoops. This best bet, it's something you want. And while this is a basketball show, I do want to mention the college football bowl guide has been posted. If you got it yesterday, go back and get the updated version. There's 9 pages of notes for each bowl that were added by JM Sports from Sports Memo. So if you did get the guide and they don't have the notes, just go re-download the new guide. You'll be glad you did. WT.buzz/RM.
All right, good stuff there, guys. And Steve Merrill joining us here straight off of the upset of your alma mater there. I know you last we talked here, you were going to a William and Mary game, and you bet against them. And I think that worked out pretty well for you, Steve. What do you got over at WagerTalk.com tonight?
Yeah, just a couple of things. First of all, Joe Raineri, I always want your attention. That's never a problem. And Ralph Michaels, the college football bowl guide is fantastic. 9 pages just added by JM Sports, everybody. So check it out, WT.buzz/RM for Ralph. And if you want my page, WT.buzz/SM. Very easy, RNS at WagerTalk.com. Yeah, we faded William & Mary for the free play here Tuesday night with success. The Tribe now 0-9 straight up and 0-9 against the spread in all Division I games. They're the worst point spread team out of all 358 Ralph Michaels teams that are lined on the betting rotation. I'm going to use it again as a free play tonight, but they're favored. Do I dare take them as a favorite with the worst point spread record, or do we fade them again? Stay tuned. Find out at the end of the show. By the way, I've got an NFL best bet tonight. Steve Merrill, WagerTalk.com.
All right, locked and loaded is what he is. And Dave Koken joining us here on this Thursday. Dave, locked and loaded here tonight as well, my friend, I'm going to assume?
I hate that word locked because there's no such thing. I have a hockey game tonight, best bet in the NHL, and NHL continues to be really, really good. Did not play any college basketball tonight. I'll give you an opinion on a game on this show. I have a small play in the NFL tonight, and looking forward to the weekend.
All right, guys, all available. WagerTalk.com is where you can go to catch that, guys. And let's start here tonight in one of the featured matchups, taking a look at Seton Hall going up against Texas. Now, Texas opens up as a short favorite here, number 7 in the country. The total 135.5, 134s as well, somewhere in that ballpark there. But we got it. 2 powerhouses here, Ralph. The Big East, Big 12 battle underway. What do you think we're going to get here tonight with these two teams?
Well, we really don't know. We know Texas is a quality team. I believe they're AP top 10. I don't have them quite there. They're in my top 20. But their only real test was the Zags on the road, and that was their only true road game. They got down early against Gonzaga and ended up losing by 12. Besides them, their best competition was a 200 team in Northern Colorado. Seton Hall, at least they've been tested to a degree playing Ohio State and Michigan. Michigan on the road, pulling the upset, losing to Ohio State, and then beating a Cal team that, Joe, we've talked about is playing much better than expected. But I like what I'm reading out of Texas. Chris Beard is starting to impose his defense, and the kids are starting to buy in. They played a horrible first half against UT Grand Valley. Chris Beard read them the riot act. They came out strong. The team actually had a meeting after that game, how bad they played the first half, called by their point guard. When you do that type of game and go on the road and this is a huge game, I do like the Texas team. For what it's worth, I will mention that Chris Beard did take his team to New York a day early. They went to a Broadway show. They went to the Empire State Building. And I think the bonding does add something to it. They understand it's a business trip. And while it's not part of a handicap, I think it is important that they did that. So I clearly lean the Longhorns in this game. Not strong enough to make my card, but I'll be watching with interest as I think they come out and play an inspired first half, especially.
Well, it's a good litmus test here, Steve Merrill, with these two teams tonight. They've been pretty good, Seton Hall, at the Prudential Center. In fact, 5-0 this year at home. What do you think they're going to show up and show out tonight with?
Yeah, Ralph knows I love his database, but if he'd had a Broadway show angle from the database, that was going to blow me away. That would have been the best ever. But yeah, I agree with them with the cohesiveness. And I also will look, both teams coming off easy wins. Texas played UTRGV, 30-point win. Nyack College is who Seton Hall just beat by 46. So it's a step up in class for both teams. But what gets me going to Texas in this game, Joe, is the pace of play. And I used it as a free play yesterday at WagerTalk.com. I used Virginia Tech last night as my free play. They won by 33 over Cornell as a 17-point favorite. Cornell was the best point spread team in the country at 7-0 against the spread this year until last night. But they like to play fast, about the same tempo as Seton Hall does in the mid-70 range, fastest teams in the country. Meanwhile, Texas, just like Virginia Tech, one of the slowest teams in the country, one of the 10 slowest of all of college basketball. Whenever I get a slow-down team against an up-tempo team, I like to look at the slow-down half-court team. It's much easier to slow down a team than to speed a team up. And then on top of that, just like Virginia Tech last night, we're getting a better offense and defensive team. Now, it's not a huge advantage like the Virginia Tech Cornell game last night, but it's still basically a straight-up win situation with the point spread being only around 2. So I'm getting the better team at both ends of the court. They're going to get their preferred pace in a focused spot. Texas is the way I would play this one. I think there's some value with the Longhorns.
How do you look at it here, Dave? You get the slight edge to the home team in Seton Hall here, or do you think it's still a coin flip one way or the other?
I think it's a real toss-up. Texas does have the better defense. I'll argue a little bit with Steve on the offensive side. I think Seton Hall is a better offensive team at this point in time. I don't know that it'll be the case later on in the season because Chris Beard is a great college basketball coach, and I think he's going to have his team poised and ready to do some damage come NCAA tournament time. I think Texas has the higher ceiling than Seton Hall. As far as this matchup's concerned, I made Texas a 2-point favorite. So with the line having gone the way it's gone, I do think there's a little value on the Longhorn side. Not enough for me to bet on, and that's going to be the case with all the games we talk about today. But coin flip, I would call Texas as the right side of the coin flip.
All right, Texas, it is clean sweep there here, guys. Let's move on to another interesting game. We'll just go to Iowa. Why don't we do that here? Because that's where we're going to see Iowa taking on to Iowa State. Iowa opens up as a 3-point favorite. We're seeing a total of around 151. I've seen 5.5s in some spots as well as it's gotten up to, Steve. So what do you think here? Iowa State, terrible last year. Nice turnaround. New coach, new players, new attitude. What do you think here tonight?
Yeah, I would like to play fast. Iowa State, not exactly a slow-down half-court team. I would actually like the Cyclones more if they played really slow, as I think that could disrupt Iowa. But what the Cyclones do have as a home dog edge here is they're the better defense. They're the more efficient defense this season. They're allowing just 39% shooting against a pretty similar schedule that Iowa's played. Obviously, Iowa's had some big games recently. They played Virginia, Purdue, Illinois. So this is a little bit of a step down in class maybe, but not much of a step down. And this has always been a weird series. It's always an early December non-conference, in-state rivalry that it's been for decades. Since I started 25 years ago, I feel like I've been handicapping this the second week of December every year. And you do get some strange results. And even though Iowa's considered the better team, as you all know from the show here in recent weeks, I've said I think they're an underrated team. And normally an underrated team off back-to-back losses would get my attention. And maybe that's why the line's gone from 3 to 5.5. But not so fast, my friends. I think Iowa State is a dangerous rival home dog, defensive home dog, as I mentioned. And I think this line's gotten a little too pricey now at 5.5. Not a game I'm going to be involved with here, but I will side towards the rival home dog with the better defense, getting maybe what's somewhat of an inflated number now with Iowa State.
It's interesting, Dave. Great offense going up against a really good, defense here with Iowa State. Who do you give the edge to here?
I think Iowa's the considerably better basketball team. I do respect the home court, certainly for Iowa State, and TJ's got them playing really good ball. I wouldn't. Let's just take whatever took place at Iowa State last year and throw it away.
Yeah,
it was a complete train wreck, and they were better than that on paper, but everything went wrong for them. They're playing really well so far this season. Now I don't know if they're this good, and it's really the reason I'm not playing the game. Is on paper I think Iowa's clearly the better squad, and it's the kind of spot you do like in a sense because Iowa's coming off 2 losses. So they're certainly not going to take this game for granted in any way. But I haven't seen the sell sign yet on Iowa State. So even though my numbers favor Iowa here, even with the line having gone up, they favor Iowa. It's a game that falls into the wait and see category. I'm looking to see if there's a sell sign coming on Iowa State. Are they playing over their heads? Is reality going to step in and be a reality bite situation? It might happen tonight, because Iowa's got more talent than they do. But until Iowa State convinces me that they're not for real, I'll go cautiously, and I'll lean to Iowa in this game, but it's not going to get a bet from me.
All right. Rob, I think this is, the third game in a week here for Iowa from a scheduling perspective. Got to go on a road, in-state rival. Who do you give the edge to in this one?
Well, let's remember, the most important thing is conference play, and Iowa's already played 2 conference games. The Purdue game, they played without Keegan Murray, and They were down 18. They made a huge comeback. They were within a basket, and they end up losing. I think that loss cost them 2 losses because they came out against Illinois after that huge comeback and lost again. I think this line is overinflated. Too many people playing on Iowa off back-to-back losses in a must-win situation. But I didn't get to the Iowa State side just because of that. Had Iowa come back and actually pulled off the win against Illinois, I would be on Iowa State. But since Iowa's more talented and they're off back-to-back losses, it's keeping me off the game. Clear lean, though, I agree that the defensive dog, it is the number 1 team out of 358 teams as far as turnovers go. Iowa is. Iowa State's number 5 in the country on turnover defense. So a clear matchup of who's going to do what. And Iowa, again, you didn't have your top player on the road against Purdue. This is, they went to Virginia and they went to Purdue. So they are tested on the road, but still playing in front of this crowd is going to test them even more to see. Turnover battle is going to decide the game. I do like the home dog.
All right, leaning towards the home dog in that one. And you mentioned it. We'll take a look here at that team that Iowa just lost to. How about Purdue taking on Rutgers here tonight? 11 and a half as an opening number, total 138 and a half. And boy, they got that number 1 next to them, as if that means anything here in December there, Dave. But I don't know what to make of Rutgers. Are they as bad as their record says they are? Is Purdue as good as their record says they are? What do you think of these 2 teams?
I think Purdue's close to being that good. I think they're a top 5 team. Do I think they're the best team in the country? No. but they're real good. There's no question about that. Rutgers has been a disappointment so far. They've not played to their capabilities, and the problems with Rutgers are on the offensive side. They just have trouble putting the ball in the basket. But this place is going to be live tonight. The RAC can be a difficult home court, and Rutgers is really going to come out excited for this game. And I think they're going to give Purdue a real good battle. I don't think they're going to win the game, and they could get run over late in this game, but I think Rutgers will hang tough for a good portion of the game. And that's enough to get me to the Rutgers side as far as a lean goes. Rutgers plus the points. I think it'll probably be maybe a 2-possession game, which means getting this many points is a little bit appealing to Rutgers. Again, not going to the window with any of these, but we'll call it an opinion on Rutgers plus the points. Not a very strong one, though.
Yeah, we just watched Purdue. They were a big favorite, Ralph, against Iowa. They were up, I think, by as many as 17 in the second half, and then they only closed, winning by 7. Are you afraid of this number here at 11 and a half?
Well, Dave said Rutgers is having trouble on the offensive side of the ball. Is number 322 in effective field goal percentage bad? Let's remember, Rutgers last year finished 16-12, made the NCAA tournament. But out of your top offensive players, Jacob Young, gone. Mathis, gone. Geo Baker, injured. He's missed the last 3 games, likely out today. That's part of the reason. Miles Johnson, gone. All you have is Ron Harper. That's not enough. But Purdue being the number 1 team in the country for the first time, I expect those players to be full of themselves for at least a little bit. It's not going to take them long to get it straightened out. Rutgers also lacking in depth. If Williams, the center for Purdue, gets Amori in foul trouble, Rutgers is in trouble. I like Rutgers to come out early, keep it close first half. I think Purdue pulls away in the second half and wins the game. But if I'm going to play anything on this game, and I'm not, but my top opinion would be Rutgers to be very excited to play the number 1 team at home, keeping it early for the first 20 minutes.
Okay, good stuff there. What do you think, Steve? How are you leaning towards this one? Laying the 11 or take it with the home team?
Yeah, I think it could be a little bit of a flat spot for Purdue, not only being ranked number 1, which is often the kiss of death, at least it has been this season in college basketball, but they are coming off that big win against Iowa, which kind of gets them there. And they also have a look at a couple of neutral court games next week against NC State and Butler starting on Sunday. So this is maybe not a great scheduling spot here. And it's actually, I believe, the first true road game they've played all season. They had some neutral courts, of course, against North Carolina and Villanova. So you could definitely make an argument this is not a good spot. And then the line's gone up from 11 to 13.5. So we are losing some line value as well. So I would lean Rutgers for that reason. They do play kind of a little bit of a slower pace, and they do play some good defense. But as Ralph touched upon and Dave also touched upon, the offense is so bad. I just hate backing big dogs with bad offenses because you're kind of hoping for the backdoor cover for them to keep it close here. And they just don't necessarily have the offense to do it. And they're a bad offense. They shoot 39%. More importantly, they shoot 27.5% from 3-point range. When you're looking for a live dog that can maybe pull an upset against the number 1 team in the country, you don't want to have the one team shoot 44% from 3 like Purdue and give up only 29.5, and Rutgers shoots 27.7. So that's my concern. That's what keeps me off this. But the scheduling spot does look like it favors Rutgers as a double-digit home dog.
All right, good stuff there, guys.
Hey, Joe?
Yeah, go ahead, Ralph.
Let me just jump in 1 second. I only read this in one place. I couldn't find any other source that said it, but the Gold and Black, which is the Purdue rival site, the writer said that he heard that Rutgers was dealing with a bout of the flu. I tried finding some other source that backed it up. I could not. I'll share it with you. We'll see what happens. If you tune in, perhaps it's a live betting situation, or if you get any pregame on the TV, if they do follow up. But just keep that thought in mind if you hear any new news as the night progresses.
All right. Let you guys know. Piscataway, New Jersey, 7 o'clock tonight. We'll have a tip-off there, guys. Rutgers taking on Purdue. Only 13 games here on the slate, so it is time to see if these guys like one of them a little bit better than the others. And, Ralph, We'll start with you, my friend. There is a Mississippi Valley State game here today, and you have not blessed us with a Mississippi Valley State best bet yet. So what's on the card here tonight?
I hate to disappoint, but I am not dropping down to the 300s. I just cannot find a play. Trust me, I tried. And I'll tell you what, this is one of the weakest best bets I've ever given out on the show, and it's Iowa State. I went through this card several times. I do have one total, which I am selling as a totals play of the week. But again, as light as a best bet that I've ever used on this show, I do like the home dog with Iowa State to keep the game close throughout the game.
All right, good stuff there. Steve Merrill, where might you be looking? Oh, I have a feeling I know where you're looking here tonight. Where are you going, Merrill?
Yeah, if Mississippi Valley State's on the board, we look at Ralph. If William & Mary is on the board, we look at Steve Merrill. And Tuesday night, right here on the show Tuesday night, I mentioned William & Mary is the worst point spread team in the country at 0-8 straight up in ATS and Division I games. We played against them as a free play here for Old Dominion. They won by 15 as an 8-point favorite. William & Mary is now the only 0-9 point spread team in the nation out of 358 teams. But that stops tonight, folks. Couple reasons. First of all, I will not be at the game tonight. The only other game I missed this season, they beat Mary Baldwin, a Division III team that's 1-6 in Division III by 37. And I'll miss this game tonight. So they'll probably win for that reason alone. But from a handicapping perspective, there's some reason to back William & Mary tonight. First of all, Hampton is really bad. They're actually worse than William & Mary despite being 3-6 this year. And they just came off a huge win against in-city, in-region rival Norfolk State last Saturday, in which they hit a full-court shot at the buzzer to win by 1 as an underdog. So this is actually a little bit of a flat spot for Hampton. William & Mary and Hampton, terrible defensive teams, but William & Mary's a little bit better offensively. The Tribe is athletic and young. They just don't shoot well, but they do play at a fast tempo and up-pace tempo, so they'll get some easy baskets tonight against a bad Hampton defense. And one thing William & Mary's had a lot of trouble with this year is turnovers. They don't have a really good point guard. They lost him as a grad transfer to Minnesota in the offseason, but Hampton doesn't force a lot of turnovers. So this sets up well for the Tribe. Everybody knows I'm against trying to catch falling knives. And an 0-9 spread team is obviously a falling knife, but they're also due, right? They got to cover at some point, and that's why they are a 3.5-point favorite. So I actually like the matchup here. I like the situation, and the William & Mary Tribe get their first Division I win, and more importantly, their first cover of the season tonight at 7 Eastern on Thursday. William & Mary minus 3.5 is worth a look. And don't forget, if you want a full 30 days of my college and pro basketball, buy one, get one free. It's normally $179 for each. You can get a full month, 30 days of college and pro combined for $179 with promo code HOOPS179, HOOPS 179, HOOPS 179. Get you 30 days all basketball. My number one ranked basketball, Steve Merrill, WagerTalk.com.
All right, good stuff there. And Dave, which one of these games did you circle for us here tonight?
Well, look at the matchup between Colgate and Pittsburgh. And again, I didn't play anything tonight, but this is probably my strongest lean in the card. Colgate, good basketball program, outstanding dental products as well. I don't know that matters much here. Colgate's been a bit of a disappointment so far. They've lost a few games they should have won. They should have beaten NC State and lost that game. They should have beaten Harvard. They absolutely should have beaten Niagara. So they've given away some games they should have won, and they had a loss to Northeastern. They're up 20 in the second half and let that get away and lost that game, which didn't make me very happy because it was on Colgate. Thought I had an easy winner and ended up losing the game. They'll treat this as a pretty big game because they're playing Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's more of a named team out of the ACC, and it's been a rough go for the Panthers. Now, they've played arguably a little better basketball lately. 1 point loss to Minnesota, 1 point loss at Virginia. But the fact is they still lost those games. They just are not figuring out ways to win games. They are a terrible offensive team. Panthers just cannot put the ball in the basket. They have no flow offensively. It's strange to see a Colgate favorite on the road against a Pittsburgh, but I think the odds makers have it right. I'll go with Colgate to pick up the win and squeak out the cover in this game.
All right. Colgate for the win, for the cover, and let's see what our friends at the Gold Sheet have in store for us here tonight. They are looking at a total, and the one that has to do with Purdue and Rutgers, they're looking at the over in this matchup. And again, guys, this full write-up available on Wager Talk's Twitter page, as we do each and every day. We post them. Head over there. Make sure you're following us on Twitter. But great, and I mean great information, great handicapping tools available at goldsheet.com. If you have not visited, please go ahead and do so over there. Great write-ups. Read it in its entirety over at Wager Talk's Twitter page. And tonight, guys, I'm going to do it. I'm going to bite the bullet because every time I keep thinking we're going to see a blowout, the Zags disappoint, like Tarleton, +9. So 32.5, 33 points. Give me Merrimack here. I'll take the points here. The Zags, I'm sure they've got bigger and better fish to fry coming up, especially in-state rival Washington coming up a little bit later this week. So I'll take the 32.5 because they are yet to cover these monster spreads. So give me Merrimack and the 32.5. And to recap one more time, guys, Ralph Michaels going to Iowa State, 5.5. Merrill, William, and Mary, shocker, and they're a favorite, even bigger shocker, 3.5. Dave's leading Colgate -3. I'll take the 5 touchdowns here with Merrimack, 32.5. And our friends at the Gold Sheet, Purdue, Rutgers, they're going to go over the 138.5. And you heard them tell you, best bets are available right now at WagerTalk.com for all three of these gentlemen here, Ralph Michaels, Steve Merrill, and Dave Koken. Just head over to their page and grab those up here for tonight. And, of course, those 3-day, 7-day, 30-day all-access packages. Never miss a play, guys, including their big 5% best bets there. So head over to WagerTalk.com, and let's head into this weekend, making it a profitable Thursday. On behalf of Ralph, Steve, and Dave, hit that bell in the upper right-hand corner. Guys, we will be back again tomorrow. Get ready for the weekend in college hoops. In the meantime, best of luck with your plays tonight, guys. We'll talk to you again tomorrow. Man, I think we lost Robert. That's what I'm thinking. Don't go anywhere.
Each and every Monday is $9 Monday at WagerTalk.com, and all daily picks packages are priced at only $9, including 5% best bets, normally priced at $35. As an added bonus, any picks packages loaded early for overnight Tuesday or action during the week will also be priced at $9 until midnight on Monday. So make sure to take advantage of getting these $25 and $35 picks for only $9 before the clock strikes 12 and they return to regular price.